So listen, we got a bunch of great shows. I know that today is a Wednesday. Yesterday was a Tuesday. That also had some really great shows brought to you by the Let's Talk Football group, produced by Sean Spencer and Janae. So I would like to share with you guys some of the other shows that you guys can tune into and learn and listen and discuss some other Let's Talk Football. Nice. And as you could see, lovely Sean Spencer was also too on a show before us talking about his commanders and how they did. So that's why the hat is so close.
I take credit
Nice.
for that because I picked against him the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah,
Keep
no
doing
kidding.
that, Ben. Keep going, Ben.
If only I worked for Atlanta too. You know what? Like, here's the thing, Sean. This is what I was gonna say. Not to cut you off, Nicole, but you know what? You're right now in a very similar situation that the Atlanta Falcons were in. Okay, listen. You got your W, man, and you played a really good team for the most part. You did. Green Bay Packers aren't a joke. Okay, I know we're diverging from the NFC South, but hear me out. Is this reality though? You know what I mean? Is it going to continue and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's not. No, it's not. We'll find out. It's not. We can't. Heineke is Heineke. He's got his limitations. He played crap. He was like terrible in the first half. We almost gave them the first half. So we'll find out. But I'm not. This is fool's gold. This is just like that. This is just like getting excited for the Panthers game. It's just like, no, what? We know what happened. We still. We'll talk about why we know what's going to happen.
Well, I guess with that transition, I'm happy. I'm sure Ben's happy. I'm also sure that Nicole is happy that CMC is finally out of our league. Like,
Yes, I did not know who CMC was until he was out of our league.
Nicole, are you serious?
Yes.
You guys been an absolute like.
I've been so focused on my Saints. I didn't know.
So good.
But Kyle, Nicole's got a good point. I mean, he's always been injured.
Yeah.
How can you focus on somebody
That's true.
not always been there on the field?
But it's like when he's there, man. Like, it's unbelievable how much points he produces. Like, it's disgusting. Like, the guy runs.
There was an exchange. So they exchanged him for a second, third, and fourth round pick in the 2023 NFL draft and a fifth round pick in the 2024 NFL draft.
Yeah, the Panthers won that pick.
That goes along with the trade, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good pickup, honestly. Especially it's a really smart move because sure, I know people would have wanted a first round pick, for CMC, and absolutely he probably would have deserved one in all honesty if he was healthy. But especially when you're going into a full rebuild, that's value. And I'll tell you right now, and I'm sure most of us can agree with this, don't expect them to keep all those picks because they're going to trade some of them for higher picks.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But look, let's be honest about this, all right? Because I almost feel like, and Kyle, you understand this is kind of like Julio in the later years.
Yeah.
I mean, how long are we going to live off those first couple of years where, yes, he was amazing, but once he got hurt, he just hasn't been able to be on the field enough for us to really be like, is this guy that we know how great he was in the past? Like, because right now, yes, he was good when he came in, but you saw when he was with us, he is just breaking over 100 yards. We saw what happened when he went with the 49ers. He's getting in there. One ball to go around, a lot of mouths to feed. But it's when he first got in the league, yes, he's a number one pick. Absolutely. You can draft, you can trade number one picks for him, all this stuff. But now it's kind of like, now that you know that he's maybe 75% healthy at best all the time, like he's never really up to that 100% consistently. Those picks seem kind of right. It's more of the bulk and the amount of picks than the actual big blockbuster pick, because he's not that guy anymore. At least he hasn't shown it, because he hasn't been able to be on the field to show it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, you even mentioned it yourself, like, are we seeing a Julio? Actually, I'm going to transition this to another point. Is I would almost even say, is it kind of like Jalen Hurts? You know what I mean? Is Jalen Hurts, right now this season of what Julio and CMC were at the hype of their season? You know what I mean? Like, it baffles me. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to take away any credit from like the Philadelphia Eagles right now. They're having a fantastic start to the season, and it's probably going to continue for a little bit longer still. But like, people can't get just blindsided by one good season. Like, I get it. You know what? Like, players ball out season, and there's obviously teams that have players that are going to be like shining stars on certain like years, right? But is that going to translate to many years to come down the line? And that's the question mark, because Julio realistically only had roughly maybe about 3 good seasons. Like, honestly, same with CMC when he wasn't injured, right? Like, are we seeing the same thing going to happen with Jalen Hurts too? Like, I don't know, potentially, right? But it's just something to kind of keep into consideration when like people do have breakout seasons. I don't know. That's my 2 cents on it, though. But
Ben, how do you feel about CMC and him going to 49ers?
Well, I mean, I think for the Niners, they needed that running back, and now what's good for McCaffrey is he's not going to have the bulk of the carries. They were running him into the ground in Carolina, and now in San Francisco, they're playing a more West Coast style. So, you got Deebo Samuel, wide receiver / running back hybrid, and they're going to use him for some plays, and McCaffrey doesn't have to do as much. He's still going to get some carries, but he's going to a team now where it's a playoff team, and potentially, maybe, if they can stay healthy, a Super Bowl team. Now, that depends on the quarterback play. We all know Garoppolo's not the best quarterback out there, in my opinion, but as far as McCaffrey goes, I mean, it's a good landing spot for him. He's, going to have a chance to contend, and he's not going to, have to carry the load, no pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
So now, as far as the Panthers go, I mean, you got to do it. I mean, you're rebuilding. I mean, it's just time, and I mean, I could see more trades coming. And I mentioned in the comments, like, Brian Burns is somebody I would not want to trade, but that's a hell of a bargaining chip because teams will give up a first rounder for him, and you got to wonder
too.
It could, yeah, and you got to wonder, guys and ladies, Carolina, what do they do in this situation? Do you want to get a first rounder? I mean, you could with Brian Burns. I mean, it's really tempting, but at the same time, you got to build something around, have somebody to build around, and so it's kind of a tough dilemma, but they do got some picks right now, so they're trending in the right direction, but we'll see. I mean, they need a lot of things to have happen right now. It's full rebuild, guys.
Right, and you got it. Let's be honest. Like, I mean, the way that this team has been playing, I'm not expecting these guys to get out of the top 10 as far as draft picks. You know what I mean? So they're gonna get a high pick, and maybe it is you get your high pick. That's your one. That's your quarterback or whatever position you're going to focus on. And then for the rest, it is about quantity, getting the right picks. The more we have, getting something like that. So we'll see. We know the owner wants to win now, but then again, you also bring in Matt Rule, give him all that money, and bring in Sam Darnold and Baker and all this. So let's see what happens going forward. But this is go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Real quick, you mentioned earlier about maybe using those picks to trade for something.
Yeah,
right.
Maybe they can trade for not a draft pick, higher draft pick, but like a free agent or something, a quarterback, something. Because like you said, David Tepper wants to win now.
Oh yeah.
So he wants to get ahead of the curve here, but so they could do both. Who knows?
Yeah.
I would love to see a new spicy player in the NFC South.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Keep telling me, baby.
You know,
so much confidence, Nicole. I loved it.
let's go. It's a very entertaining league. You never know what's going to happen week after
Yeah.
week.
It's been eventful this year. Yeah, like I honestly I don't even know what to predict at this point with the NFC South. It's it's like an ex-wife looking for alimony. Like honestly, like
it's like a track race. You're so tired. Somebody's stumbling to the finish line, and like whoever gets up has that last bit of energy is gonna make it. Like reach to their hand right to that ribbon right there,
right to the end,
like Nick Cannon's Love Life.
No, he might have another one coming.
I don't know.
I know.
Hey, all I know is we want the South.
Oh,
you don't.
We love the South.
Not really.
No, we got it. Okay,
Right? It's like no.
Brady's gonna make a comeback, win a couple games on accident. We'll be
I
fine.
do have to say, on a end note of this EMC trade, I didn't know that his father actually played for the Denver Broncos back in the day.
Ed McCaffrey, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a brother too, right? I'm pretty sure CMC's got a brother.
His whole family's a little dibble-dabbled in a lot of sports, so very...
So the crazy part about this whole situation is his father, CMC's father, played for the Broncos. The coach of the Broncos at the time was Shanahan, with Mike Shanahan. He is the father of Kyle Shanahan. And the joke that was made that he said, what did you tell CMC when he came? He said, we meant to not draft you when you came up in the draft because we had to build a defense so that we can eventually get you later down the line. Now, obviously, they didn't expect all that to happen, but it was just a funny story because the father coached the father and now the son and the son. So, I think that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. That is sweet.
Cool. Yeah.
Sweet note to hit it off on. CMC, we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.